Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome to yet another Q&A. I have not a clue what to expect today. I asked you guys to leave a bunch of questions. You left them. I didn't do any filtering. I'm just gonna answer them at random. I'm a little scared, but let's just jump right into it.
Where do you get your ideas for your projects? I can never come up with any ideas which motivate me enough to complete them.
This is actually a great question. I think it's important to start with something small, because something that I find with a lot of particularly game developers is that they'll come out with this, oh, I have this idea to make this game. It's gonna be like Grand Theft Auto mixed with Skyrim mixed with I don't know, Dragon Ball Z, and it's gonna be the best. There's gonna be all these systems, and it's obviously, if you were to finish that will be one of the greatest games ever. But as soon as you get into programming, you learn that there's so many different systems. There's a reason why Grand Theft Auto has a team of I don't know, thousands maybe of developers who work on specific features for months, for years. I advise you to always try and keep a project in your scope that you don't fully understand how to do it. Maybe, I'll say a 50-50 balance is a good place to start. 50% you know how to do it, 50% you're not sure how to do it. So that way you're creating something new, but you're also learning as you do it. Where do I get the ideas? I don't know. I legit don't know. I have maybe 10 ideas a day, and I can only do one every 2 weeks. It's actually pretty torturous.
If you had to choose, AI or game programming, Tom?
I think this question is a paradox, because what game do you know doesn't have AI, right? I think even if you go back to Atari, some of the first games, Atari Pong, I'm saying, I don't recall, but I don't think that was only a 2-player game. I think you can play 1 player versus the bot, which that's AI. So I think they go hand in hand for most game programming scenarios.
My laptop's been iffy lately. Why can't it tell me when it feels sick and how to fix it, without me getting all technical with it? Jack.
I'm not entirely sure how to answer it, but believe it or not, your computer does tell you when it's sick, so to speak. You just have to become a better doctor at seeing the symptoms and whatnot. There are a bunch of different reasons, maybe your C drive is full, or maybe you're maxing out RAM, or whatever the case may be. All those symptoms are there for you to figure out and debug, so to speak.
What is your approach to personal project selection? Do you more often pick projects that force you to learn something brand new, or are you otherwise expanding on something you're already familiar with? Charms.
Kind of touched on this question before, but my approach to personal project selection, which is pretty much every project at this point, every day I'm looking at something new. No matter what it is, something on TV, something on the internet, there's always something new. Every single thing that I see that's new, that I come in contact with, it influences me in a certain way, and it brings so many different ideas to my brain. And at the second in which I can somehow relate that inspiration to some software or some game or something, I'll write it down in my notebook, and then whenever I think that it's I have to do this now for whatever reason, then I'll add it to my Trello.com. It's a huge mess. I have literally just hundreds of ideas just laying everywhere, and it's really difficult to get to them all, and it brings a lot of distress because I can't do them all, but I want to. I always try and make sure that with every project, there's something to learn there. I think it's highly important.
What is more fun to do in general, developing a game or developing a specific software? Stuzy_.
I think they're both more fun, depending on the situation. I think that's the reason why I do both, is because they're both equally fun depending on the situation. Game development oftentimes take a lot longer than doing specific software most of the time, but I think that they're both fun and rewarding in their own right.
How did you come up with the style of videos you make? What I mean is, what made you make a voiceover commentary and record the awesome silent play to go along with it? I found that so amazingly entertaining the first time I stumbled upon your videos. Sentuki.
Yeah, you'll be surprised by how many things happen by accident. Most of the best things happen by accident. This was kind of half accidental, half intent. I don't know how many guys know, but I've been making YouTube videos for almost 10 years now. And one of the things that take the longest with making videos is recording this, right? Having a script, reading it, messing up, having to do it from the top. That takes so long. And so with this project, I was there's no way that I can create a new YouTube channel and compete if the type of content that I want to make, it would just take too long. I had to figure out some way to optimize it. And so obvious answer to me at the time was just to remove the whole messing up the script component completely. And so what that meant was just record the script and then film over it. And this idea was actually heavily inspired by a lot of the gaming channels. I was these lucky bastards can literally just like talk about something and then play a video game and then just like put that footage over what they're talking about. And I was like, that's so cool. I'm so jealous. I wish I can do that. Oh wait, I can do that. And so that was the idea.
Try developing a web app using Node.js. Alex D.
No. At least not right now. I don't care at the moment.
Was there any particular game that inspired you to get into the game making field? Cal Chic.
I don't know. I think Smash Bros, the first one probably. I have to say that one because that was like one of the first games in which I believe I played that was like 4 players. It had to have been because N64 had 4 ports. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was like one of the first games I played those 4 players, and I was just with a lot of friends and family and we were just having so much fun, and it was a lot of your favorite characters that you played in Legend of Zelda, you played in Super Mario and Star Fox. It was just like, what is this? What? Like, how is this possible? And I think that game really got me into like, I want to learn more about, you know, this process, and I'm really grateful for that game. Thank you, Smash Bros. Even though you've gone on a bit too long.
When do you think you'll think you're ready for starting your business and stopping making video games? 0. Dominic Clemente.
Dominic, I'm offended. How dare you? I have no idea. I don't like the idea, the concept of like rushing things. Like when it feels right, I'll know. Yeah, it'll happen. I don't know when. Only fate knows when, but I'll never stop making video games, so you can kiss my...
I really enjoy all of your videos. Congrats on 100K. I was wondering if you would ever do a tutorial on iProgramming. Sorry if you've already done one. Dest.
There are a couple of reasons why I don't make AI tutorials, or tutorials in general really. One, they take a lot of time. I have a very like personalized, tailored experience that I like to do for all my content, and I know that if I were to jump into like tutorials, there will be no way that I could just gloss over like a certain piece of content within the tutorial. I would have to break it off into its own like 2-part video thing. So that's one reason why I don't really want to do tutorials, because I know that I will be super invested and it'll be like a month of my time. And yeah, another reason, I guess it's part of the same reason, it just takes a lot of time, and I'd rather invest that time in like learning more things than selfishly teaching you guys how to do it. But there's a chance that I might be doing a tutorial series soon. More to that to come hopefully later, but just, I don't know. Don't quote me on that, but maybe.
If you didn't have a passion for CS, what would you see yourself doing with your life? Frost.
There are a lot of times where like I'll hear some sort of musical piece and I'm like, dude, I wish I can like learn how to do that rendition or something like that. So it probably would be music, instruments and stuff like that. Basic.
VR stuff when Lenny.
I like it. Straight to the point. You mean all business. Lenny, very soon. I just got an Oculus. They just announced the Oculus Quest for next year. That's a standalone VR. Lenny, I got you. Just please, I got you. Be patient.
What finished project are you least proud of? Engine.
I have some like projects in the like archives that like didn't even really see, like I released them and like put out a tweet about them, but they're just quick research projects, if you can call it that. Just the one on the top of my head, it's called Procedural Forest Island. It was just like a really quick thing I wanted to learn about, and I just decided to make it into like a little software project. I don't know if I'd say I'm least proud of it, but it's just like a whatever little project. Link in the description.
Where are you from? Maybe yeah.
Where are you from? I am from San Diego, California. Voted the best city in America. Holler at me.
What is the best cheese? Mr. Krabs.
It depends. My mood swings. Sometimes I like Gouda. Sometimes I like Swiss. Sometimes I like provolone. Sometimes I like sharp cheddar. Sometimes I like American. It changes. Alright guys, I really hope that you enjoyed this week's episode. Now, before I let you go, I want to ask that you please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Hit that bell icon to be notified when I upload a new video. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram for like sneak peeks on future projects. Ooh la la. What's this tweet about? I don't know. Maybe you should follow me. @Jabrils_ is my handle. Also, I recently launched a Patreon. If you want to help support this channel beyond YouTube, don't be shy to give your support on Patreon. Lastly, if you want a chance to have your question answered on the next Q&A, head to sethstuff.com/Q&A and ask your question. All the links to the stuff I just mentioned are all in the description. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I hope to see you all next week, but whatever the case may be, remember to always feed your curiosity.